Hello and welcome to episode 102 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list, but we didn't this week. We took it from Rob, the listeners' top 10 movies. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
And we got random movie number 5 from Rob's list, which was Paths of Glory from 1957. It's got a Metascore of 90. Got a user score of 8.4. Runs for 88 minutes. Directed by Mr. Stanley Kubrick. Budget 900k, box office 1.2. Wasn't too successful. And I was just wondering, actually, I was looking up before we went on air, where's the Oscar noms? What's going on? Where's the Oscar nominations? Not one Oscar nomination.
Get the boat.
I won't get the boat.
You should get the boat. Go pick up some Oscar nominations.
The boat is the Titanic.
Bury them with Stanley.
Bridge on the River Kwai won that year.
That was quite a good movie. But at least a nomination should have been offered to this movie. It was quite different for a World War II movie. World War I, sorry.
Yeah, World War I. There's a couple of maybe theories out there that why it wasn't nominated. First of all, it's quite anti-war, not pro-war. Bridge on the River Kwai is just a war movie. It's just, straight up.
Several countries banned this movie.
Including France for some reason.
Weird.
They banned it until 1975.
Fucking hell.
And
the Spanish banned it until 86, I think it was.
What the hell's the Spanish problem?
The anti-military side of it upset Mr. Franco.
True, right? Yeah. So it's like a pure anti-militaristic movie where the grunts pay the price for the people living in the ivory towers' decisions, which is...
Yeah, to be honest, it's a little bit on the nose as well, though, at times. It's kind of almost like the lads in the ivory tower are caricatures of toffs, French toffs.
Toffs. Les toffs.
Les toffes.
Les toffs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... Yeah, we've got General Brulard and we've got General Miro, who are both quite... in different ways, though. It's interesting. They're very interesting dynamics between them.
Broulard's a much smarter, much more political a-hole.
Yeah, and he's not as extroverted with his opinions. He'll do things and not be emotional about it. Miro is very hot-tempered and will go overboard a little bit. But I think Miro is the better character. I think it's an amazing acting job by George McCready. I think he's my favorite character.
The initial scene, I didn't like the two lads chatting for about 5 minutes. Then I got past whatever hang-ups I had over it. Maybe it was a little bit too tough on tough action for me. It was. I was also in a cranky mood. It took me 3 hours to get home from work, so I was like, I was in a bad mood. I was like, oh, look at these assholes. But no, the movie itself knocked that out of me because it's good from the get go. Really, I didn't give it credit at the start.
Yeah, it's tough. It goes straight into sort of the sort of conversation of politics and militaristic politics and. Hey, if you do this Mission Impossible, there's a bit of a promotion in it for you. Nudge, nudge.
Oh, we can't do it. That's the until. Nobody can do that. Promotion? Oh, how did you say it?
It's interesting, because Moreau was totally like Colonel Dax at the start. He's like going, no, I don't want my soldiers to die. The promotion's coming your way. Well, maybe we could do it.
Money.
Yeah.
Power.
Respect.
Yeah.
Public admiration.
Might just do it.
Oh, Paul, I knew that I was right to come to you. You are the man to take the anthill now, as far as that star is concerned.
That had nothing to do with my decision. If anything, it would sway me the other way.
I realize that perfectly, Paul.
Now, when do you say you'll see this coming off?
No later than the day after tomorrow.
We just might do it.
An easy man to manipulate.
Yeah, he's an interesting character, and that's why maybe this movie is so good. You could analyze all of the characters. There's this like triangle of characters, right? It's Dax, Brulard, and Miro, and then there's tangents going off them with the other characters, and the other characters are great too.
They're fantastic. I especially like the drunken. He's a lieutenant, is he?
Roger.
Yeah, Roger. He's brilliantly played in this.
He's great.
And his arc is so depressing because you should dislike him, but I don't. Because what he does is horrible.
I do dislike him.
I understand it.
I do dislike him, but yeah, it's the horrors of war. He has a bottle of martini on his table, shaker not stirred, and
well, in fairness, he has to go across the into no man's land at night.
Yeah,
possibly not a good idea to get wankered drunk. But
that's how he was handling it. But he's a coward. The rest of the men aren't cowards. They just had a horrible Mission Impossible thing to do, and a lot of them fell back.
But I can understand his cowardice because faced with a really high chance of dying, I'd be a bit worried about it.
Right. Yeah, of course. We don't know what it's like in the trenches.
No, especially World War One. Like the whole way through watching this movie, I kept remembering watching Blackadder Goes Forward. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, the last scene.
The whole way through that season, it's all barrel laughs, and then it just ends so depressingly. Right. And that's what this movie is. It's just an extended series of depression and people trying to get out of dying, and no, you just can't get out of it. You're going to die because the Toffs had said so. Yeah. And General Melchett reminded me of Brulard.
Right. Yeah, Brulard, I don't know. He near the end of the movie, Dax went, "I'm not your son. Don't call me your son." And he was like, "Oh yeah, well, you're not my family's son." But like, I don't know if he had a little thing for Dax.
He respected him. He respected how intelligent he spoke, and he thought of him as an operator, like himself, a political operator. He didn't realize he was a straight shooter. He thought he was doing it just for political position in the army. And he absolutely respected how he thought he'd taken out his direct boss by throwing him under the bus. So he's like, "Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah, let's have more of you. Oh wait, you're honest. Oh,
yeah." That last couple of scenes were a little interesting, quite deep.
I thought they were great, actually.
Yeah. I think the movie's full of those one-on-one conversations where people are just on opposite sides of ethical dilemmas, and there's constant conversations like that, which make the movie quite interesting to go from scene to scene. And it's really not a long movie too, so it's quite snappy. It goes from
to help it slide down your gullet. It's beautifully shot.
Oh man, yeah.
Like the scenes, like the tracking scenes, especially when they all go over the top. Oh my god.
The tracking, and it's it's not a major part of the movie, the war scenes, but the way they're shot, and I think they had 600 extras, and that always helps. Like I hate war movies where you can see just 5 lads, and it's supposed to be a whole battalion going for it, and like you can see them in far away, and it's like, yes, that's real. I just can't believe how they actually managed to coordinate it so that those little explosions wouldn't go off in their faces and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Especially, was it 1957? That's there's no computer timing here. It's lads with wires.
Yeah, and this is only like 12 years after World War II ends, and they went to Germany and dug up a farmer's field for this. Like this was all set in. I think the farmer was quite happy. I think. Yeah, so we do like the movie starts off. I don't like trunkify it up a bit. We don't have to go through each scene. Like it starts off with the La Marseillaise sort of instrumental, which sort of goes. You've got a drum sort of theme throughout the movie, which sort of sets the tone. Yeah, so we did say Brulard and Moreau were like going, "Hey." Broulard's going, "Hey, do this Mission Impossible. You get a promotion." He goes, "Yep, I'll do that." So we do see the trenches next, and the trenches, as you said, are mostly shot with a panning dolly camera. Yeah. Ready to kill more Germans?
I know, he's such an asshole. And then he gets to a guy who's got shell shock. Ready to kill more Germans?
And he doesn't know what to do because he's totally a militaristic guy with just a rote script.
Care.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get any emotions from any of his people. He just wants them to go, "Yes, sir."
Yeah. It was like World War I Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Off to see the groundhog? Ready to kill more Germans? He does it 3 times.
Hello there, soldier. Ready to kill more Germans?
Sir.
What's your name, soldier? Hello there, soldier. Ready to kill more Germans?
Yes, sir.
Working over your right. Hello there, soldier. Ready to kill more Germans?
Yep. And each time he gets the same answer until the last guy who's like...
Yeah, so we're like following them head on, him and his attaché, if I could call him that, and we're following in front
Captain
of
Darling is how I refer to him.
Captain Darling. Yeah, he's the prosecutor later on in the movie where his smirking smile is annoying.
Snively git.
Yeah, but the trenches are great, and the way they shoot them is great too. And so, we do see these shell shock soldier.
She shells on the shisha.
Shawshank. Yeah, so but I love Moreau's reaction to the shell shocked soldier, because he's like, "There's no such thing as shell shock."
Yeah, it's.
I love his accent. I love the way he enunciates his words and his accent. He's just a great character. I really would have given him an Oscar nod for supporting actor or whatever. I thought he was really good.
He was good.
Yeah. So we have now maybe one of the first sort of back and forths, like as I like to say throughout the movie, there's a lot of one-on-one conversations. And so Moreau meeting Dax, played by Kirk Douglas, for the first time, is this sort of dance of what I'm going to make you do here. And Dax is in Moreau's position as he was in the first scene, going, we can't take the anthill. It's a fucking shit show out there.
But he gets his way, doesn't he, Moreau? He uses something different, though. Instead of greed, he says, well, we'll put you on furlough and leave your men without a commander. Let's see how they fare with that, basically. So he blackmails him.
Right. That's Dax is like, no, I'm not leaving my men.
So he's a good lad. You get that straight away. He's out for his men, and whereas everybody else up to this point have been out for themselves and their own personal gain. Dax is a good one.
He's a good one. Yeah, he's a good soldier. He's a soldier. So we do see your mate, who's a drunk, Roger, going out with two dudes, Paris and Lejeune.
Oh, actually, I want to grab a quote from our friend during this conversation. He tells him to take the hill. Men will die. They absorb bullets and shrapnel, so others can make it through.
There's percentages.
The 60% thing, it's almost like a negotiation. And he's like, we expect about 60%. He starts adding them up, so 10% will die with this bit, and blah, blah, blah. So 60% will die.
It's almost
and Dax is like, what?
Yeah, it's almost a disconnect between him. He was in the trenches beforehand, interacting with these real life soldiers. He goes in and starts talking shop and just forgets about them as.
They're just resources to be expended.
What sort of casualties do you anticipate, sir?
Say 5% killed by our own barrage. It's a very generous allowance. 10% more in getting through no man's land, and 20% more getting through the wire. That leaves 65%. With the worst part of the job over. Let's say another 25% in actually taking the anthill. We're still left with a force more than adequate to hold it.
General, you're saying that more than half my men will be killed.
Yes, it's a terrible price to pay, Colonel. But we will have the anthill.
Yeah. The war machine. War pigs. He's a war pig.
He is.
Yeah. So this is a little mini precursor scene to them going over the top, where Roger, Lejeune, and Paris go out and do a bit of a recon, and Roger is a little bit tipsy, maybe not totally fucked, but he's a bit tipsy.
Not sober though.
No, he's not sober. He's definitely amended. His thinking is amended. Yes, he sends Lejeune off. And they're
go look at that weird thing over there. It's a biplane, you idiot.
Yeah, it's a rubble house. It's just a shell.
Yeah, I love it that he just waits like 10 minutes and goes, right, grenade time.
Well, no, I was thinking about this because I actually watched it 2 nights ago, and then I watched it again today, just on my second monitor while I was doing something here, so I wasn't like fully immersed into it, but I wanted to go through it again. I really want to do that for good movies if I've got the time for this, because I really think sometimes we go through them, especially if it's below 2 hours as well. That's if I can do it. But I was thinking, okay, how does Kubrick determine, or how does he present a lapse of time going, enough time for where Roger is going? Like, where the hell is he? So he does do a fade transition from when Lejeune pops over the top, and then he cuts back to a fade zoom. So it's like, okay, there's a sense of, okay, it's been 5 minutes or whatever. It's not like direct.
They also had a discussion though as well about the flares that go up, and I think some said something like they'll go up every half hour or something like that. So that flare goes up while he's away.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
So that does give some concept of time passing.
True. That's true too. It's a good tool to use.
I don't like this. Let's get out of here.
We haven't given him enough time.
If we wait any longer, they'll get us too.
We've got to wait for him.
He must be dead. Where is he?
Roger.
But then they hear gunshots, and so Roger just goes,
"Throw him off!"
Chucks the grenade.
You're on your own.
Hey, chucks the grenade over, and I think he actually leaves his gun there, from what I saw.
Yeah, he just pegs it.
Yeah, he just runs backwards, and Paris just goes forward.
Paris is like, what?
We don't really get to know Paris until later. He's a very complex character, actually, later on.
He's not a coward. He goes up to check to see if his friend is still alive. His friend is not still alive because he got a grenade in the gob.
Yeah, what was he doing anyway? Like, he wasn't too far away. Why was he just there? Maybe he was just like chilling out until it was time to go back, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I checked everything.
Right. Yeah. Just like, why do the suicide recon mission? Let's just, spend 5 minutes here and then just head back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roger is a bit of a cowardly asshole.
Yeah. Chucking the grenade at your own subordinate is not great. I know he didn't intend to hit him, obviously, but it was stupid. I don't know what the grenade was going to do other than to alert the Germans that I'm running around out here. Yeah. So, it wasn't a very smart or brave thing to do.
Well, we must mention, like, when they're crawling across, they have this drum beat goes on. Yeah. So then again, we have this sort of theme of a head-to-head conversation, because Paris comes back and Roger is writing up his report going, the two lads died.
Oh, you're alive. Oh, that's great.
Oh, shit. Right, let me get the Tipp-X out. but Paris is going, you fucking killed Lejeune, motherfucker. He's going, don't listen. Nobody's going to believe you.
Who are they going to believe? You or an officer, eh?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah. And then Dax comes in and goes, oh, that's the report. No, I just have to change a little bit. And, I think, Dax is on to Roger, as we know later on in the movie. He's definitely on to him, like what type of character he is.
Paris talks to him about him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, of course, but that's in a very crazy, tense situation.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah. Before this over-the-top thing, there's a short scene where there's a pre-mission briefing going. There, all the sort of captains are like asking Dax questions, and like,
Paris isn't looking great.
No. Well, Roger is like the one asking the questions. He's Mr. Anxious. He's going, is there any chance of fog or rain tomorrow? Nope.
It's a good question.
It's a great question.
The last thing you want is clear weather when you're running across the top.
Yeah. But Dax is going, no, it's sunny all day.
Yay. Beautiful weather for an attack.
Yeah. So then we have another, like, I think obviously death is a crazy big theme in this because it's a war movie, but we have two soldiers talking about how they want to die, and it's quite macabre.
I'd prefer to get shot instead of getting bayoneted.
Yeah,
Certainly don't want to get blown up.
I think one of them says, it's all steel, man. It's just whatever.
Yeah. It's all grim.
Yeah.
But anyway, they both agree that explosions, we don't want that one.
Yeah.
Bullet or knifed. Thanks very much.
So we do have this amazing sequence of Dax going through the trenches. Again, we're head on with him.
So good. Yeah.
And it's just, we could tell the production value of the movie. They created these trenches, and that's quite long. or they give the illusion that they're quite long. I think they actually did do a long dig for the trenches.
It feels like there was continuous shots that went on for some time, like 20, 30 seconds. So they had to be reasonably long. And he's not strolling. He's moving with, purpose through the trenches.
Yeah, so we see POV from Dax's position going through all the lines of, and you can see random soldiers are smoking a pipe, cigarettes. There's a lot of attention to detail, and they all have this World War I facial hair as well, like little twirly mustaches, and it's very appropriate with the time, the makeup and styling. And then we see obviously the face, and the Kirk Douglas has this great face. It's like a chiseled mask, and he's very determined in his walk through the trenches. And then he obviously blows a whistle and says, "Let's get the hell out."
Here we go, lads.
Yeah. So again, it's crazy. It's like a couple of minutes of just explosions.
This again is shot so well.
Yeah.
And just everything exploding around him, people falling down. There's holes everywhere. But Dax keeps soldiering on. As people are dropping around him, up to a point where he realizes, where's Company B?
Of course, it's Roger's section.
Let's not bother. It's a bit. I was expecting fog.
A few bullets whizzing around the air, lads.
Yeah. Weather's not great. So Dax has to go back and try and kick him up the backside to get him moving.
Yeah, literally. But then at that point, there's soldiers coming back anyway, and Dax tries to go over the top and gets squished by a guy falling over him. But at this time as well, Moreau is sort of in command.
Why isn't Company B moving?
Yeah, and he's going nuts, and he's basically going, "All right, artillery, shell them."
Yeah, this is nice. I do appreciate the commander of the artillery company going, "Nah, if you want me to do that, I want it in bloody writing because this will come back."
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
No, but he's just going apoplectic in the command center, and he's like, "I will court-martial all of them."
Yeah.
General Miro speaking.
Battery commander speaking, sir.
The troops are mutinying, refusing to advance. Fire as ordered until further notice.
With all respect, sir, you have no right to order me to shoot down my own men unless you are willing to take full and undivided responsibility for it.
Captain Russo, are you going to obey my order?
I must have a written order before I can execute such a command, sir. Supposing you're killed, then where will I be?
You'll be in front of a firing squad tomorrow morning, that's where you'll be. Hand over your command and report yourself under arrest to my headquarters.
Yeah, and the point being, I think, with him, isn't that they were cowards. It's that they disobeyed his direct order. And obviously his promotion's in the toilet now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's totally falling down around him. I don't think. Yeah, he's a very complex character. It's hard to know what he's actually thinking, but he's really irate with it all. And so, from the contrast from the trenches, they have this luxurious room where Moreau and Brulard are just digesting what happened and having a little bit of lunch. And Moreau is sort of crazy. He's going, "I want to court-martial. I want to kill
100 men." He wanted, wasn't it?
100 men, settle for, and 100 men, and then he'll settle for 12. Broulard's
he gets
like
it down
going
to 3.
Then he's
good
like
negotiation.
And Broulard's like going, "Excellent, Paul. Excellent. Such a great. Such a great."
Dax is sitting on the underside going, "What? Why are you killing people? They're our soldiers."
Yeah, exactly. So then we see this sort of interesting scene when they come out. The battery commander, because he was ordered by Moreau to come and meet him, and he shoos him away because Broulard's with him. He's like, "Yeah, I'll talk to you later." And he's like, "Get him out of here." Yeah. But then he threatens Dax. He says, "Hey, lay off this shit or I'll wreck you."
Yeah, because right before this, Dax has said, "Well, I insist on being the counsel for the accused."
Yeah.
Which scares Oh, I can't remember his name now.
Moreau.
It scares Moreau
tough.
because he remembers that this guy is a serious lawyer, criminal lawyer. So he's got the ability to defend the lads.
Yeah. But, yeah. So anyway, he goes to his captains, you have to pick one person. And one of them is obviously Roger, who...
Guess who he's going to pick?
Exactly. So, yeah, we go into this sort of basement where we have a few scenes throughout the movie, it's quite powerful setting for the scenes. We have Paris. We have who was picked by Roger because, he killed Lejeune.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if he complains a lot, he could get him in trouble. So why not 2 birds and 1 stone type thing, you know?
Yeah, but Dax is like going, listen, you just have to stand up there and give them the facts, and you can't have outbursts, you can't show emotions. Be a soldier and give the facts. And that's his sort of guidelines in the basement. The other 2 guys are Arnaud.
Private Ferro and Arnaud.
So Ferro.
Did you see who Arnaud was?
I found out when I researched
his face.
Amazing.
Like, yes, I know that guy. He serves drinks
in the Shining Hotel,
the Overlook Hotel.
The Overlook Hotel.
He's so good in that.
Amazing.
He's great in this as well, actually. So he's a great
really
actor.
Good.
And,
he's also Tyrrell in Blade Runner.
Yeah, so Kubrick knows him, and Blade Runner, he's great.
Yeah, but Lloyd, I played that scene. I looked it on YouTube and I was like, yeah, it's a great scene. I do like I like the bathroom scene with the attendant in the bathroom better than the barman scene. Sir. Yeah, but he rolls his R's in some word. I can't remember the bathroom attendant, but he's just very British the way he delivers the lines. It's just amazing. Lloyd in The Shining doesn't really. He says a couple of things, but he doesn't. It's not that memorable. But his face is memorable.
Yeah,
I think Private Ferrol is a good character too. He's quite weird. He's a big chap, and he's sort of got a interesting way of delivering his lines. I heard
it's great. Douglas hated him.
Yeah, I heard he was a weirdo actor.
Yeah, Douglas absolutely hated him, and Kubrick loved the fact that Douglas hated him. He used it.
Yeah, I would not have liked to have worked with Kubrick. I think there's 60 or 70 takes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the court-martial, and this was in Schleißheim Castle in Germany.
It's beautifully opulent, which is a fantastic juxtaposition compared to where the lads were 5 months ago in their underground cellar.
Kind of, I think Kubrick sort of recreated this later on in Eyes Wide Shut, when, that sort of scene where Cruise comes in and everybody's lined up. It sort of just reminds me, big room, people standing formally, people sitting formally, and then just layers of characters, because we see Moreau lounging in the chair behind the prosecutor. We see the head of one of the judges, and then one of like Ferrot or Arnaud there. Layers happening, and it's.
I love the spacing that he sets up for these shots. It's just fantastic. It's wide open space, and then, as you say, there's layering of people around it. It's fantastically done. It really sets the lads who are on trial off by themselves in the middle of nowhere, no man's land.
Very good. So they get called up one by one, and it's a shit show. What do you call it? What do you call it when a court?
Kangaroo court.
Well done. Good job. Well done. You can't remember character or actor names, but you can remember concepts. Ferrot is up first. He's very droll. He says he made it halfway. Arnaud basically says he was ordered to retreat, and the prosecutor is smirking through this one. He's like, which wire did you make it towards?
Our wire.
Not the German wire?
He doesn't get very far, in fairness, poor chap.
Yeah. And Dax wants to ask questions. He gets shut down. Poor
Paris. Oh.
Knocked on the
How far did you get?
On the noggin.
Our trench.
Have you any witnesses that were knocked unconscious?
No. Major Vignon was shot and landed on him and knocked him unconscious. In fairness, he did have an owie on his head.
He did have a little scar. scar tissue.
No witnesses to say that he got knocked out. And his defense of that was, well, everybody was kind of busy.
Yeah. Were you there? Did you know what we were doing?
Yeah.
But the thing about it, Dax, we as the audience, we're going through Dax's summarizing, and we're like going, this is not going to go
there's no case for the prosecution at all. It makes no sense. The guys are guilty of nothing. And it's very obvious by just what the lads say themselves. Doesn't even need Dax to defend them. But they want their 3 men dead to improve morale, as we find out.
Yeah.
Gentlemen of the court, there are times when I'm ashamed to be a member of the human race, and this is one such occasion. It's impossible for me to summarize the case for the defense since the court never allowed me a reasonable opportunity to present my case.
Are you protesting the authenticity of this court?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, we kind of understand what happens because the next scene is the firing squad getting instructions, and we're going, okay, so it's going ahead.
I like that it's not declared.
Exactly.
Just straight to the firing squad, getting ready.
It's good editing. It's good production choice. So we do have quite a few scenes now in this sort of jail cell basement. Where
nice meal.
Duck supper.
Not bad.
But Farrow is going nuts at this stage. He's very calm first, and then he's like, thinks it's poisoned. I don't want to be poisoned for the...
Yeah, he goes through all the emotions that come with accepting your imminent demise.
All of them do, I think. Yeah.
Acceptance doesn't come for Farrow really until he's strapped to the thing. But
no, it never does.
He starts off with trying to bargain his way out of it, but he's got nobody to bargain with.
He's totally saying, I'm getting out of this. I'm getting out of
Denial,
this. Denial, yeah. So we do have quite a few things here. They're talking about escaping. They're going through all sorts of things. Like, this can't happen. We can get out of here. And then I think, is it Paris who basically says, that cockroach has got more closeness to my family than I will ever have because I'll be dead.
This time tomorrow he'll still be alive, and he'll be closer to my wife and kids.
Right.
So Farrow just goes, there you go, you're ahead of him now.
Yeah, exactly. My son's priest comes in. Hello, my sons.
Yeah, I'm with Arnaud on this one. It's like, feck off.
Death comes to us all.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
That's really deep, death comes to us all. That really is deep. Say, Farrow, what's the matter? Afraid your luck isn't going to hold out? Well, look, this is my religion. Oh, great bottle, forgive me my sins, for now I lay me down to sleep. Oh, Pete, may I drink of you first? Thank you. Amen.
So Arnaud gets a little bit drunk.
A bit punchy with the father.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it gets even worse for Arnaud because Paris knocks him out and he bangs his head.
So he's dying anyway.
He's dying, and
this is being crushed.
And it's bad the way his
in fairness,
character goes.
That might be the nicest way to go. You don't really get to have all the fun of waiting to die.
Yeah, which we soon see, which is majestically shot. Again, we have this little one-on-one conversation where it's a beautiful one because it's a nice one where Dax basically gives Roger the job of organizing the firing squad and looking after
no, please not that.
He's just...
Can I get out of this? I'd like to formally request. And he's like, no, you're doing it.
Yeah, good night.
Good night. And it's a good move. He doesn't want to because he still feels guilt because he knows he's killing a man that's innocent. So there's some semblance of humanity in him, but he's still an absolute effing coward.
Yeah, exactly. But then we have the artillery commander coming in going, hello.
Yeah, chat with you, mate.
All right, mes amis. So we basically get the sort of sense then that, all right, he's going to squeal a little bit about what Moreau did.
And he does.
And he does. And so we do get the another 1v1 where Dax is versus Brulard. Very, very dancey. Like, there's a dance downstairs, but there's also a dance conversation because he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't say anything until Brulard is going for the door, and he goes, Yeah, Moreau wanted to fire on artillery on our own lads, and
he's like,
Brulard just closes the door, and like we're very far away camera-wise at that point. We're not even up close, but we see that one motion where Brulard just slams the door, and that's quite good.
Well, by the way, sir, have you heard that General Moreau ordered his own battery commander, Captain Rousseau, to open fire on his own positions during the attack? Well, of course, the captain refused without a written order. But General Moreau demanded that he commence firing on our own trenches. Again, Rousseau refused without an order in writing, but again, he was ordered, and again, he refused.
Yeah. Are you blackmailing me? Then, so we've got a little bit of hope that maybe Brulard will then put Moreau on the firing line.
Quashed, really, isn't it? Just smashed down, and that's what I effing love that about this. It's so bloody, unfortunately, realistic for the time period.
It's not a happy
it didn't
movie.
matter about reality and justice. Nah.
No.
They wanted certain things to happen in a certain way, and that was going to bloody happen.
We do see the next morning, it's just a firing squad coming in, gathering the lads. There's a stretcher for Arnaud.
Yeah.
The guy pinches cheeks a couple of times because the generals want to see his eyes open for his death. It's
kind of cruel a little bit in what it leads to viewers to believe, because it gives you the slight chance that the general, the head man, is going to call it off and just use the excuse from the artillery commander to stop it. No, he needs his men dead.
I even had a little bit of hope when it was like, ready?
Yeah, and he's like, stop! No.
Stop.
No.
No, he's part of the machine. He knew it had to be done. There was no winning for saving personal grunts. The GIs.
Captain Darling reads the last sentencing. Just before they...
I want to mention Paris's transformation.
Yes.
From the basement to walking towards the firing squad.
This. It just occurred to me, funny thing, I haven't had one sexual thought since the court-martial. It's pretty extraordinary, isn't it?
Pull yourself together, act like a man. Listen, Paris, are you listening to me?
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of dignitaries, newspaper men out there. You've got a wife and family. How do you want to be remembered?
I don't want to die.
Many of us will be joining you before this war's over.
I don't care. I don't want to die. Please save me, Sergeant.
I can't save you. No one can now. This is the last decision you'll have a chance to make on Earth. You can pull yourself together, act like a man, or we'll have to drag you out of here. In the end, it'll all be the same.
I'm scared.
He broke down basically talking to the firing squad commander person. He broke down crying on the ground, and the guy's going, get up. Your family's going to be out there, or your family's going to be watching on film. And from that second onwards...
You'll see it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. You'll see it on VooTube.
Yeah, he pulls himself together very strongly.
He just comes out and he's walking shoulders back. And
there's acceptance. He gets the whole way through.
He gets the whole way through. Farrell doesn't. He's
blubbering at this point.
Blubbering. Why me? Why do I have to die?
Everything he says, though, when he's blubbering is bang on.
It's bang on. I would be feeling the same.
Why aren't they getting the band? They didn't fight. I fought.
Yeah, exactly. He's walking past, going,
kill them.
Why isn't it one of them?
Yeah, he's not wrong.
We do not question the will of God, my son.
But I fought the battlefield. Why don't they die? Why did you put them to death?
I wonder if he ad-libbed a couple of those ones, because it seems very reactive to the scene. But there's so many things with this last firing
and then
squad
Arnaud
scene.
Being strapped to the stretcher, unconscious, being dragged up there. That's grim.
He's just like there, like a rag doll. He's no reaction, and just adds another. It made me think of what didn't one of the 1916 risers
and a chair,
it had to be strapped to a chair, and I was trying to figure out what his name was, but I can't remember. But could have been a bit of Irish history there, but we're not that good.
No, we're not.
We're terrible.
I remember it. Can't even name him in prison.
Kilmainham jail.
Kilmainham, yeah.
It's like 30 minutes away from your house.
Yeah,
maybe.
And I've even been in there.
Yeah, same here. It's a good
school
good
tour.
Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see the bloody, like, to the side of the stakes, there's 3 coffins on a horse and a cart.
Such a good shot, isn't it? The 3 lads just side of it, and then in the background, 3 coffins on the back of horse and cart. Grim.
And then, like, I just constantly kept on looking at Paris, and he was just like, yeah.
No blindfold for me, buddy.
Yeah, so his buddy Roger goes, sorry.
Sorry with that.
Sorry about that, mate. See you later.
Do you want a blindfold? Nah, no, you're okay, mate. You git.
Yeah, I don't know. What's like, could he have gone, shove your blindfold up your fucking arse, Roger? Would that have... something along those lines.
I think it was better just to go, F it, I'm dead. I'm going to get nothing for this, so just take it in the chin. And it'll make him feel worse anyway.
Yeah, I think so. I think it probably made Roger feel worse. No reaction to what his apologies. As this is all happening, the drum beats are going on. Like, I think it's
the rapid fire.
Yeah,
and it goes on for a while.
Oh, it goes on. It's quite a long scene, and it's terrible. Like, and as well as that, we also have POVs as they walk towards the stakes in the ground. So it's he knew what he was doing, Kubrick.
Well, yeah. Because that's one of the truer statements you can make about film directors out there. Kubrick genuinely knew what he was doing.
And you know what? Like, after all this lengthy scene, it's just ready, aim, fire, boom, gone, done. Really, like that.
Snappy.
Done.
Bish bosh. Yeah, the one thing I was expecting to see was our lieutenant friend. He was told that he was going to have to go up and shoot them in the face after they were shot.
True.
That doesn't... I don't know if it happens or it doesn't matter. They're all dead anyway, but he isn't shown doing it, at least.
That's a good point. I wonder would it have added something to us because he was a great actor, Roger.
He's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I wonder if we saw him go through that and he was like really struggling to do it. Maybe when he got to Paris, he could have really just went a bit like gone in the head with having to do it. That would have given his non-redemption arc an ending of non-redemption.
Yeah, it's descent into madness. It's not a good arc.
Yeah. And then he would have grown up to be the guy in Apocalypse Now in the jungle. You're an errand boy sent by grocery clerks. I'm sure I butchered that line, but actually, one of the scenes where Dax is putting his face with water and over his head is exactly what Marlon Brando does in Apocalypse Now.
When he first is introduced to the screen.
Yeah. The guys get shot and we just go cut directly into a sumptuous lunch that
lads are having
Moreau and
afternoon tea.
Yeah, Moreau and Brulard are just having a nice little post, and they're having a sort of review of what happened. Your soldiers died very well.
Your men died well. Dax's face is just thunder. It's well played by Mr. Douglas here. Yeah. It looks like he wants to rip him limb from limb.
Yeah. But then Brulard is so nonchalant going, Paul, I heard you wanted to shell our soldiers.
Oh, by the way, Paul, it's been brought to my attention that you ordered your artillery to fire on your own men during the attack on the anthill.
I did what? Who told you that?
Well, Colonel Dax came to me last night with a story.
Colonel Dax, I've always known that you were a disloyal officer, but I never dreamed that you would stoop to anything so low as this.
Yeah. Who told you that?
Exactly.
Mr. Dax here just told me that.
Yeah, he told me last night. You'll have time to defend yourself. What? Oh,
I'm the only completely innocent man in this whole affair. Are you now?
You're making me out to be the goat.
Yeah, the public forgets. You'll be okay. You just need to clear your name.
Yeah.
Under the bus.
Yeah, but that's left hanging. We don't know what happens.
Yeah, we can assume that he got absolutely crucified.
Yeah.
Possibly on a post himself.
Yeah. And this is where at the start of the episode you were saying that Brulard basically thought Dax was playing the game so that he would get Moreau's job. He offers it to him and he goes,
"Have his job. I'm not your boy."
Yeah, I'm not your boy. That's yeah. So I don't know what Brulard's thoughts are toward. Like, he obviously respects him, but he was overly friendly, and like he was really friendly, over the top happy.
I think he sees himself in Dax, but he completely misreads him. He sees a young version of himself who only wants power and will do anything to get it, but that's not what he's doing.
Yeah. Brulard is he's a veteran. He's worked his way up to the top.
You don't get to that position in a hierarchy that is that cutthroat without being an absolute beastard.
It felt like he was just a couple of steps ahead of everybody. Like, when Dax gave him that was a little bit of a slap in the face for him, but he knew exactly that he could not.
He knew how to play it.
Yeah, he knew he couldn't do anything with the firing squad, 3 sacrifices.
But that's what he says, though. Like, we can't let the lads go. We need this for morale.
Yeah, the morale.
Was out in the I think that was the dance, was it?
It might have been the dance.
I think it was. It was before this scene. And this is where Dax finally realizes that this guy is an absolute git.
Yeah, he's part of the machine.
Yeah.
He's probably like, when you get promoted and you get away from the front line, you don't have the
you just start seeing the men as numbers now, and
they're numbers.
You do a little bit of calculation. You say, well, if these lads get killed, it'll increase the fighting capacity of the rest of the company. Great.
Well, it's like Moreau saying about the percentages. It's like,
just an equation,
and nothing has changed. And I guess that's why they didn't get an Oscar nominated, because it was totally a criticism of the machine of war and the fact that the people on the front line are the poor and uneducated people, and they get told what to do, and they don't say no a lot. They kind of did in this one.
there is no option. It's the post for you if you say no.
Yeah, and I
which
think
was demonstrated
in kind. So we do have one last scene, which is an interesting scene.
I love this scene. I don't know about you, but this Kubrick's future wife.
True. Yeah.
I thought this was going to go really dark.
Susan Christian.
Yeah. So she's dragged out by a pub owner in front of the 701 company, which is Dax's company. So these guys are all PTSD up the backside massively. They're all drunk. They're all jeering at her. She starts singing some little ditty in German.
Der true Hussar. The faithful Hussar. That's what it's called.
They're jeering still, but then they stop jeering. And they all start humming along with her. And I think it's very human, something very human about it. Like it sets these people as not just broken men, but they found something in common with this lady, which was fantastic.
Yeah, some form of empathy. I think maybe as well they were looking at her as a thing of beauty, and the hearing a beautiful thing from her reminded them of, fuck, we're nowhere near that sort of beauty anymore. Maybe we'll never see it again.
Und als man ihm die Botschaft bracht, dass sein Herzliebchen im Sterben lag, da ließ all sein Hab und Gut und eilte seinem Herzliebchen zu. Da ließ all sein Hab und Gut und eilte seinem Herzliebchen zu.
It was fantastic. I think that was a fantastic little scene. It balances the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It ends it off in a sort of haunting sort of way, because from listening to it, They're all in the shit. This is just a little moment of reality.
Reprieve. And then just as Dax is standing at the door listening to the lads humming away, he gets orders. Your company has to go back to the front. Sorry about that, buddy.
That's his punishment for not getting the promotion, for not taking the promotion.
It is. And he just says, give the lads a minute.
Yeah, give the lads a couple of minutes. That little song she sings, their Trua Hussar, is just about... I don't know. See, I don't know if the soldiers understand. It's about a soldier coming back from war and either not recognizing his family or the family not recognizing him. So I don't know if...
They don't understand what it is, and I think that's nicer for that fact. It's kind of like that scene in Saving Private Ryan where they're listening to Edith Piaf. No idea what she's saying. They don't care.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful, and just leave it at that.
It's also like the Shawshank Redemption when they play the Marriage of Figaro over the court, the prison yard. They don't know what it's about, but as Red said, he said something like, "I'd like to think she was singing of something so beautiful." Yada yada yada. I wish I could remember the quote. He gets his orders, and very quickly it says the end, and it's like, I usually hate shit like that, but it's like that's a fine ending.
No, it's a great ending. That's where it should stop. We don't need any more closure on this. It's enough. And the war continued and people died. You don't need to know that. We're done.
No, yeah, it's totally a bleak and realistic ending.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I needed to talk this out before I started putting in my ratings. So what are you giving Plot?
I had written down 375, but now we're talking about it, that number's going up to 4. Fantastic plot. It's sharp. It has a point, especially considering 1957. It was a point that nobody wanted made. So I think it's a fantastically delivered point.
Yeah, I'm going 4 as well. I think if it's simplistic, where, okay, it's a World War I movie and some soldiers get court-martialed for not following orders, okay, maybe it's been done before, but I don't really feel like that when I'm watching it. Exactly. Yeah. So I think the plot is well masked in the production values and just the way it's told. Acting, I'm going up higher. I'm going 4.5. I really love, I'm going to find his name, but the guy who played Moreau, George McCready, I thought he was amazing. I just really connected with the way he delivered his lines and just the pompousness and the arrogance. But the way he was in the first scene, being told about a promotion and then just going boom.
How he changes.
Yeah. Brulard is a very interesting character as well, where he's just
I would go with it. He's so calm and collected. All the while he's calculating. He's great.
Yeah, so that's Adolphe Menjot, and then Wayne Morris played Roger, which was great.
He's my standout. I love him in this. He's just broken, messed up coward. I love how he's played. You just hate him.
Yeah. And then obviously the 3 lads, Paris.
They're all great. Like Timothy Carey, who plays Farrell, is brilliant. He's such an interesting character because of the range of emotions he goes through in 24 hours is just fantastic.
Yeah. What are you giving acting?
I'm going to give it 4. Possibly because I was cranky when I came home to watch the movie.
Goddamn traffic.
It's great. Listen, and Douglas, weirdly, isn't the best of the acting in this. And he's brilliant in it. So, it's a fantastic piece of acting from all the lads.
I'm looking at let me just drop this down a bit for sound brackets track, because I think the sound is amazing and the drum beat theme throughout. One thing I don't think they got right in the 50s was like bullet sounds and stuff like that. It's quite
pew, 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 pew.
And they're very sort of like weirdly faint sometimes, and it's just like a little disconnect. And I'll give them, credit for working in the 50s. It wasn't that easy back then, but the rest of it, I'm giving 4.25. That's just a very small critique of it. Yes,
I give it 3.75. Actually, for similar reasons yourself. Specifically at the start of the movie, I thought when they were walking through the trenches at the start, asking how many Germans they're going to kill, as you said, the artillery sounds were kind of weird, and the machine gun fire was very fake.
Yeah.
So I had issues with some of the stuff like that. Aside from that, music's fantastic. So 3.75, absolutely not a bad score.
Yeah. I think I'll go 4.5 for production.
Yeah, I'd say that.
More.
It's just epic. The shots taken, just beautiful.
Yeah.
And
I think
depressing.
Yeah, it's a bleak movie, but I watched it again today and I wasn't not looking forward to it. But I know it's bleak and dark and it's not a lot of happiness. Actually, there's zero happiness in the entire movie, but that's fine.
There's a brief bit of happiness at the end with the song, and there's some humanity being shared. Some little glimpse of hope, ready to be squashed the next day when they're sent to the front.
They're all dead.
Damn it, I'm depressed.
World War I was a
grim.
Crazy,
it made World War II look like a party.
Yeah. It's a good analogy. It made it look like a party, a very shitty party.
Very shit party.
Where people have vomited up everywhere in your potted plants and into the punch bowl.
Yeah, a usual party, yeah.
Yeah. And the stripper is 75 years old.
Strippers have machine guns.
The strippers start singing German songs and we all start crying. We did get the Predator ending, though. We do actually. Yeah, yes. All the actors and their names pop up beside them. Yeah, I thought Christiane, who played the German singer or kidnappee, the future Mrs. Kubrick, was really cool. Was really good. But she came up like crying, like get up there and cry and sing a German song. It was good.
Yes.
Let's see what people said about it. Some not credited staff in Variety gave it 50. While the subject is well handled and enacted in a series of outstanding characterizations, it seems dated and makes for grim screen fare.
What?
Yeah,
it's dated because it was filmed in 1957.
Yeah, I don't think it's dated at all.
No, it doesn't lose anything because it's a period piece. It can't be dated, and black and white doesn't hold it back. In fact, I think it might add to it a little bit.
Yeah. Not a lot of good, there's a lot of hundreds, like Roger Ebert gave it 100. He said Paths of Glory was the film by which Stanley Kubrick entered the ranks of great directors, never to leave them. Just looking for one that actually mentions why it's good. Like the Austin Chronicle, Marjorie Baumgarten said Kubrick's film.
Baumgarten?
I knew you were going to stop on that, you child.
How do you get a name like Baumgarten?
Baumgarten. German. Okay. Tree garden. Auf Deutsch. Baumgarten.
You said Baumgarten.
Baum.
That's not a Tenenbaum.
I'm sorry, Marjorie, but
I've just laughed at your name inappropriately.
Yeah. She said Kubrick's film vividly depicts the harsh realities of war and remains a great anti-war drama.
Yeah.
Anyway, none of these describe it. None of them have given me something I could hang my hat on, but that's fine. That's okay. So do you want to send this episode over the top?
Yeah, let's blow the whistle. Toot, toot.
Toot. Yeah, toot, toot. By the way, let me see. Yeah. 2 weeks ago, the Oscars happened, and we didn't do a movie for it, so we're going to pick an Oscar... best Oscar movie now because we did it last year, and we will I think maybe we did 2 last year, but we'll do 1 this year because we're actually late to do it. So we'll roll a dice now to see which movie we get from the all-time Oscar movie list, and we are getting 79. So do the maths, you're not going to get a new one. And we are getting The Lost Weekend from 1945.
Never heard of it.
Very simple one-liner in IMDb, because in Metacritic it actually doesn't show up on it.
1945, this is in the middle of the Second World War.
Yeah.
So,
and
Flint
also
Dickens.
It's a Billy Wilder joint, and we've already done Some Like It Hot, that he wrote. So a little bit of a connection there. He also wrote Sunset Boulevard and The Apartment. So he's a decent guy. Anyway, this is about the desperate life of a chronic alcoholic. It's followed through a 4-day drinking bout. So we should find connections.
The Life and Times of Colin.
Subtitle. I might have to bleep out my surname there. Don't be doxxed for having bad movie ideas. Okay, so sorry. It's actually I don't have. I'll tell everybody what the Metacritic score is and user score is next week because I can't find it on Metacritic, but it's there somewhere. I found it, but then I didn't find it. Blah 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 blah. It runs for 1 hour and 41 minutes, and on IMDb it's got a 7.9 out of 10 rating. So. It's quite liked, let's say. But it's interesting to see how alcoholism will be portrayed in 1945.
It's great.
It's fantastic.
Why don't I have another drink? Sponsored by Budweiser.
For 1 hour and 41 minutes. Every minute is another drink. Okay, so if you are still enjoying us, please subscribe in whatever platform you're listening to us on or watching us on YouTube and share it around if you will. And we will see you on episode 103. Bye-bye.
Cheerio.